So it's another weekend. Welcome to the Study Abroad podcast. If you've heard about a city called Atlanta, I don't know if you've heard about it, but if you have, that is the capital of a state called Georgia, and Georgia is one of even though there's a country called Georgia. Georgia is also one of the states in the U.S. And in the month of November, almost all the higher education institutions in the state of Georgia will be waiving the application fee. So they have what we call the free application month in November. So almost all the universities and colleges in the state of Georgia, they are taking away the burden of application fee for applicants to apply. Now, what happens is that you need to pay attention to this. Most of these application fee waivers are necessarily for domestic applicants, so high school students in the state of Georgia who want to apply to the Georgia institutions. However, since they are waiving for domestic applicants, most of them also waive for international applicants as well. So I'm going to give you a list, and then you go through. There are some of them that you need an application fee waiver code. Some of them are automatically waived. There's also deadlines for some of them, and all you need to do is that to figure out whether the university you find a program you're interested in applying at is waiving the application fee. You simply have to talk to the admissions team or the international office. Hey, my name is the Fred Effect. I'm interested in this program. I know you are waiving the application fee for domestic student. I am an international student applying from Nigeria, Gambia, Ghana, Sierra Leone. Can you please let me know if I can also get a waive, and then you can submit your applications for free. So let's quickly share that. And I'll share this website. So there's a whole website for the education system, and then on the application fee waivers. So if you go to the website, this is how the website looks like. And then Georgia Apply to College month. That is the month of November. And if you click on Learn More, it takes you to the various universities and colleges and the deadline for the application fee waiver. And this document, you can have a PDF copy of it. This document will also let you know whether you need a waiver. So for example, Albany State University, let me zoom in a little bit. Albany State University, the fee waiver code is RAMS Apply 2026. Remember, I'm saying that necessarily this is the waiver codes for domestic applicants. But if you're an international applicant, you have an email here where you can contact them, let them know that you also want to apply. Is the waiver applicable to you as an international applicant as well? So I can go through all of them. Atlanta Technical College, which is free app 26. Atlanta Metropolitan State College, there is the fee will automatically be waived. So there's a lot of universities. So the state of Georgia is like a whole country, right? So there are lots of universities. There's Georgia Southern University, which is automatically waived. And I'll be sharing with you Georgia Southern. I remember there was a time that they connected with the Fred Effect team, and then they told us about the application fee waiver because we have been sharing that. So you can also get a fee waiver from them as well. All right, so let me see. Let's share this. So if you go to the website of the Georgia Southern University, as indicated boldly here, apply for free, no fee November. So this is one of the universities that are within the whole list that I just said, but there's a lot of them here. There's Savannah. There's Savannah State University. Yes, Savannah State University. There is Southern Crescent Technical College. There's a lot of them. And so I will be sharing this link in the video description for you too. So this is how we start today's podcast. My guest has always been Miss Hetty and Ben. Miss Hetty and Ben, how are you doing?
Hi, Fred. I'm doing well. How about you?
Yeah, Ben, look in the camera and smile. Yeah. Try and look in the camera and smile. How are you doing, Ben? How is the UK?
Yeah, everything is fine at the moment. And your
Yeah,
side?
is the cold colding, or it is not colding well? Is it getting
It's
colder?
colding at the moment.
Oh, I see. Awesome. How cold does
Yeah.
it get? Like, do you guys go in the negatives?
No, I think for now around 5 degrees.
Oh, I see. I see. And the snow, is it snowing already?
No, we were expecting to know somewhere January.
Right. Yeah.
This of late, the global warming is changing a lot of things.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So we'll be waiting for our guest. Our guest is here to join us. But remember, we are trying to modify how we do things on the Study Abroad podcast. And so you can join us live if you do have questions. We'll be responding to them. And of course, I'll be sharing a lot of application fee waivers today on the podcast as well. A lot of deadlines are approaching. November 15th today is a deadline for some universities. And December 1, January, February. The good thing is that whenever you are ready, there's always a university to apply to. It's okay. Whenever you start to apply, there's always a university you cannot meet the deadline, but there's always another university you can apply to depending on when you're ready. So don't be in a rush to, submit any application anyhow. Do a proper planning and you'll be able to sail through. Miss Eti, how are things been going at your end? Talk to us.
Things have been good so far. Like, yeah, I mean, essentially just having a plan in motion and knowing what to do and following the system and everything actually is working out for me. So it's been good so far.
I know Ben has a second master's. I do have a second master's, and you are getting a second master's. Why are you guys getting masters?
You see, sometimes along the line, the interest actually changes. So you realize like you go do something and then you have an opportunity to either do an internship or engage in some form of community service, and you realize like, oh, this is something I was hidden in me. So I want to build up. And then eventually when you decide that you want to go into corporate or further your education, at least you've had experiences on different angles so you can kind of fine tune which one you want to focus on. So
Oh,
that's what for me. Yeah.
awesome. On the podcast today, we are asking for you to fill in the blank. One day I will study in. So mention the country you want to study in one day in the comment section. Remember, if you contribute, if you share, if you comment, you automatically join the draw, which we'll be doing at the end of the section, and then we'll select one person the team will coach at the end of the day. But Ben, why 2 masters for you though?
Yeah, I think this is a video I want to even make. So I'm even shocked you asking that question. Especially from where we are coming from, sometimes it's very difficult to I really identify your interest. So you have a system whereby like sometimes your lecturers or your teachers will come to class and they will talk about some specific program. So in my case, I think our economics SHS teacher used to talk a lot. He yobbed more on economics, and I got interest in economics. But after studying economics at my bachelor's, I realized that that wasn't my field, and I was kind of confused. So I decided that, okay, since I have this leadership mentality, let me try public administration. So after the public administration, I realized that no, the things I really want to do is more than administration stuff. So it's kind of policy related issues.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, they need to switch to public policy. And I think gradually I'm getting there. And that is one important thing about studying outside. They have a system whereby you can even read law at your bachelor's
Yeah.
and read economics at your master's. And so it's not like you don't have options. So they are more interested in where your passion lies.
Mm.
And that at any point in time, your interest will change. So they have designed their system in such a way that as soon as you have a different passion or your interests change, the system should allow you to switch to where you want to go. And I think that is a system that I would like to recommend to most of the developing countries to adapt so that they don't tame us like animals. Let's say if you want to go this way, that is where you are supposed to go. There should be that kind
Yeah.
of flexibility so that we can now decide where our passion lies and where we want to go. So technically, that is it. The truth of the matter is that I couldn't find, the Japanese will say ikigai. I couldn't find my ikigai at the right time. So then I have to test the grounds to know which area can really hold me. And that's what I'm doing at the moment. So that's the reason for the 2 masters.
Yeah, message. I know you did communication for your first masters, and then your second masters is in what program?
So my second master's is in advocacy and communication. So how this works is a combination of international relations and the communication component.
Oh wow, I
Yeah.
see. I see. All right. So that would be like a 2 years, or it's going to be a year masters.
Yes.
Oh, but Ben, was your master's degree in 2 years, or it was only a year?
So the first one was in 2 years, and the second
Mm.
one was just a year.
Yeah, yeah. I've been meaning to ask you. So you studying in Ghana for your bachelor's, being in India and UK. What has been the major difference? Like, how is the education system in, especially in India?
I just please, I'm using myself. So
Mhm.
this one, there will be that kind of subjectivity.
Right.
Yeah, so you just have to take it like Ben is speaking. You know, after my first week in India, I felt like I'm studying SHS. Yeah, not because their system is good, but the how we used to learn in SHS, that was like how I felt the system.
Right.
You see, so I really realized that no, this is a little bit under my capacity.
I
You
see.
know, yes, we have to be frank. And then in UK, I think because I have first masters, the UK system also was kind of not really to the high capacity I was expecting, because for them, their teaching or their education system is such that they know they at least have a fair idea the knowledge you should have before you do your masters or before you do your bachelor's, and they build on
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
And here has been the case that I have already gained one master's, so the foundation they want to lay on is like I was one step ahead.
Oh, okay.
And it didn't really stress me, I have to be frank. It didn't stress me a bit. It didn't really stress me. So there was that kind of flexibility. The only thing has to do with, I think in UK, we did more of group work. And that's where the issue comes from. So in my last group, it was terrible, because
Mm.
imagine studying with or doing group assignments with people from different continents, not country,
Yeah.
continent.
Yeah.
So understanding everything was really a serious issue. But God being so good, we're able to accept through successfully. So please, this is very subjective. So those listening, don't say this is what Ben is saying, so that's how it's supposed to be.
All right.
Yeah.
So we are waiting for our guests to join us, but you can also join us if you do have questions. Let us hear from you in the comment section. The question we are asking today is for you to fill in the blank. One day I will study in. So type in the country you want to study in, and whatever you manifest, whatever you envision, whatever you think about, whatever you dream of, it will come to pass. Dreams actually come into pass. So where do you want to study? Which country do you want to study in? Type it in the comment section. And as you continue to comment, you automatically join the draw. We select one person.
Mhm.
And you can join us if you do have questions. We'll be happy to respond to them. Mr. T, you want to say something?
I was going to say something when you said whatever you dream or envision will come to pass. In the
Yeah.
year 2022, I saw the video on my phone like 2 days ago. It was January 13th, 2022.
Mm.
I'd already put in my application in December. I hadn't heard from the school and everything, and I was at a friend's place. We're having a conversation, and she recorded me, and I was talking like, "Oh, she should relax. When I land in JFK, she'll hear like I was messing with her." And then when I saw, I was like, exactly that same year. So just to say, like, power of the tongue, whatever you
Yeah.
want, it can happen. So dream big.
Yeah.
Don't keep yourself in a box. Yeah.
We have been sharing with you that the month of November is application fee waiver month for the state of Georgia. And we've already shared a lot of them. If you just tune in, you need to go and start watching, because we've shared all the gist in the intro. And this is another school in Georgia, just to go through their website and show you what we are talking about. So the University of North Georgia, and then it's boldly indicated that apply to college month, no fee. November is here. Application fee are waived for applications submitted in November for both undergrad and graduate programs. So this is specifically University of Georgia, and we'll be sharing all the links in the comment section. We want to give you value. We know that it's a little bit, costly to spend your data and time to tune into such a podcast, and this is the biggest study abroad content platform. So we try to give you value anytime you're able to tune in. Akwasi, you have a question for us. Kindly unmute your microphone. This your suit, no be small. You have to put your video on, bro.
Okay.
All right, talk to us. What's your question?
Okay. First of all, I would like to commend your good work.
Are you a
and also
pastor? Speak up a little bit, bro. Are you a pastor? You sound like a prophet to me. Your voice is like prophetic.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
You're a prophet.
Yes, please.
Oh, then me I can
Hey,
be a prophet. The way I'm able to
Prophet,
tell.
Prophet, you want to run away from Ghana? We will not allow you.
Prophet, go on.
First of all, I would like to commend your good work. In fact, in this era, somebody may have a plan of using this opportunity to lure people from their riches, but you have decided to help the less privileged. And this is something that we need to commend you and also pray that the mighty hand of God will continue to protect you so that you will continue blessing others with this good word that you have had here on this experience. And also um, extend my greetings to your panelists or your guests for also their contribution and their, in fact, experience. I think that whatever you people are doing, you are doing it wholeheartedly
Yeah.
because I can see that you don't have any negative mind behind it. And I say that may God richly bless you. But this is my question today. I I couldn't attend SHS, but I've done 1 year diploma in journalism and media studies. So I just want to ask this question: is there any opportunity or is there any hope for such person or for me?
Okay. So the 1 year, can you produce a certificate and then a transcript for it? Like maybe you have 2 semesters of transcript, or what do you have
Yes, yes, I have
to
that.
prove that?
I have that.
You have the transcript and certificate.
Yes, please.
Do you think that if you are being asked for other documents like recommendation stuff like that, would you be able to get it from this institution?
Unless I give it a try. Sure.
Yeah. So these documents, if you're able to put these documents together, because the university application is basically with your documents, right? So the document you're able to put together will be what would determine whether a university would accept these credentials and admit you or not. But there's always a way out.
All right. All right. Thank you
Yeah,
very
your
much.
qualification might not be the traditional one everybody knows, but there's always a way out.
Okay. All right.
All right,
All right.
Pastor, thank you for
Thank you very
joining.
much.
Prophet Akwesi. I should have allowed him to tell us where the church is. And Benjamin Nati. Hi, Benjamin. Benjamin, you have to put your microphone on and then you put your video on so we can hear you. Okay, so you can also request. I'm sharing the link on the various social media platforms. We are live on YouTube. Of course, we are live on Miss Eti's channel. Miss Eti, talk to us about your channel.
Sure. So my channel is also about studying abroad, specifically in the US. Just like Ben also mentioned, that's my personal experience. So I give insights on my journey, how I started, and then I also share some tips and tricks that I've discovered so far since I moved in here, and also give a fair idea of how I did it and how you can also do it, and some life experiences as well. So please subscribe to my channel.
So it's a demure and cute platform, right? And we have over 1,000 followers. If you are not following, please do that. Go to YouTube and search for MSHERTY Miss Hetty, and then subscribe us. Well, we are currently live there, and you can also watch us from there. So we are live on YouTube, live on Facebook, we are live on Instagram, and also we are live on X as well. All right, let's see. Benjamin, can you please hear me? Hi, Benjamin.
Yeah, Fred, as you are waiting for Benjamin, you've not shared why you have 2 masters. So.
Yeah, the same thing. So basically, I just had the passion for public administration, And when I was
You also did public administration for first masters.
no, I did for my second master's.
Okay.
Yeah, so my department had a concentration in financial management, nonprofit, and then public sector. So when I finished with my first master's in Ohio University, I thought like, okay, why don't I get a second master's in public administration? But the good thing about the public administration is that every concentration is different. My department had a public policy and then public administration program. And so you could have a public administration program that is way different from what another school is offering. And so I know in California, there are some schools, even with public administration, with a concentration in higher education. So we could be doing the same public administration, but taking different classes and courses. And so the concentration is different. So this goes to someone who wants to apply to public administration. Try and check the department's concentration. Don't use one SOP to apply to all, because everything is public administration. It may not work like that. So if you've not typed in your comment, please put it on. Fill in the blank. One day I will study in. So let's know the country you want to study in one day. And then you can also put in the request. Ask us your questions. We'll be happy to respond to them.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
We mentioned. So also, if you want to apply to, I think not only, I was going to speak for communication, but I think essentially most of the programs, you should find out from the departments to see the areas of interest that they have.
Right.
Because that can also contribute a major role to what you intend to achieve at the end of the program. So speaking from the communication perspective, you might want to find out whether the school you're getting into is doing organizational gender studies, or like international communication before you commit yourself to it, so that from the beginning you know what you're going in for and you have a plan at the end of your program as well. So
right. The other time I saw a program and then I posted, it's called Master's Degree in Marriage and Family Therapy. And someone said it's the study of Mama Ife and Antina affairs. but that's a nice program. Master's Degree in Marriage and Family Therapy. Right.
Yeah, I also saw a program, a master's degree in professional communication. I was like, what's the difference between professional communication and business communication? So until I had a conversation with someone doing that program, that's when I was able to tell that there was actually some difference because of the areas where the individual schools were focusing on. So it's very, very key that you actually look out for those details when you're applying to a program.
Mr. You had two scholarships. The first full scholarship was to your first university for masters. What's the difference between these two full scholarships?
So for the second program, 2 years, I have a scholarship for that. The first program, I had a full scholarship which covered basically everything. And then I had to be paying for like my rent, utilities, and stuff like that. However, this one also is a full scholarship, but I have to pay for health insurance and then some like other basic stuff. Which I compare, my first school standard of living was low. I had health insurance to pay in my first school, but it was way, 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 way less.
Oh, okay.
And where I am right now, because of standard of living, and then also for where I am right now, I think based on a little bit of research that I did, they are big on enrolling internationals on the school's insurance because they are just concerned about your health and safety, because you are coming from a different country and you don't know what is going to happen. But I'm sure there might probably be a wiggle room if you have your own insurance, but that's what like the school really proposes for most internationals. So yeah.
Oh, I see. So Faustina is asking, please, can you submit your SHS transcript before sending your WASI results to the university? So that would depend on the university you're applying to. So mostly some universities will just take their WAEC results checker card. They will confirm the results for themselves, or you have to upload the two of them. So that's a good question. Ohineba Adusei is watching us on Facebook. He said, one day I want to study in Canada, which is highly possible. Recently, there has been some good news about Canada as well. Study abroad is a life-changing decision. That is true. Frank, is it Frank Mex or Frank? There's no K, there's a C, so okay. USA or Canada? Okay. USA, Canada, Australia. That is El Zion, Born Great Donaldson. What a name! I like the name. Um, good. Do good. One day I'll study in the U.S. Okay. Let us know which country you'll be studying in. Just complete the sentence, and then Samuel Thompson. Thompson, please go on. Hi, Thompson. Thompson, you're on. So if you can please put on your video and illustrate. Okay, looks like Thompson is doing something else at the background. All right. So Ben, in the UK, what would you recommend that people do? We know that there's a lot of universities will require this tuition deposit, £4,000, £5,000, £3,000. Is there a way around it?
Yes, at the moment, it's very difficult unless maybe you get these external scholarships. So if a university says pay initial deposit of let's say £3,000 until you pay, you not get your CAS, which is the same as I-20 for the US.
Right.
Yeah, so it's kind of it's a serious issue we are dealing with. I think that's the only hindrance at the moment, the initial deposit. And if you're able to get, you'll be able to secure your CAS and then proceed with your visa application. And I think one of the things that our viewers need to understand is that the UK system is kind of, the initial stage looks a little bit difficult and complicated, but when you enter, I think there will be that kind of flexibility for you to stay comfortably. And one aspect of it is the health insurance. So with the UK system, you pay the health insurance before you enter the country.
Okay.
So as soon as you enter, you're already on health. Even if you enter today, you can go to GP and register, and you're good to go. So if you are applying for your visa and it seems relatively higher, understand that you are paying your health insurance in advance. Unlike the US that you have to go and then you later pay your insurance. Yeah, so that is one good thing that if you're good. So the initial stages are such that when you're able to pass through, so imagine maybe your fees is £13,000 and you've been able to pay, let's say, 6,000 initial deposit. It means that apparently you are left with somewhere, let's say, £7,000. Now, other thing being equal, if you come in and let's say you're able to secure, even with a 20 hours job, and let's say you are being paid like £13 per hour, what it means is that at the end of the year, you can save somewhere like, let's say, 9,600. So what it means technically is that even with your 20 hours alone, if you're able to pay the initial deposit and then you come, if you're very economical, you'll be able to pay the remaining balance of your tuition. That's the truth, because with the 13,000 per hour, 20 hours a week, you can get like 9,600, which like will be let's say 2,600 higher than the fees remaining. Okay, so when you come and then with little friend and then family support, you'll be able to sustain. And then when you complete, of course, you can quickly switch to the graduate route where there's no need to worry about going to school again. So you can stay, work for now it used to be 2 years, but now it's like 18 months because, of course, we abuse the system. Let me quickly chip in. Sometimes we create the mess for ourselves. Some people come and they don't even go to the school at all. And, every year or as soon as you enter, they conduct survey. They send us to fail. And you see, when we are failing, they are gathering information and then they are comparing it with the reports from the universities as well. And they've realized that most students, when they come, they don't study. Therefore, they have to now try and then bring some strict measures to ensure that students do what is expected of them. So please, let's try. It's kind of difficult at the beginning, but if you're able to enter, staying and living is kind of a little bit flexible. So when it's 1 year. So when you are applying, look for the schools with cheapest universities. I think one school I have discovered at the moment is Saint Saint York University.
Right.
At an international student, you can pay somewhere like 11,500. If you get this university, it's one of the best options you can get. Please, if your program is 1 year, run away from 28,000, 25,000 per annum school fees. You can consider the 13,000, the 12,000, the 11,000, so that when you pay your initial deposit, the remaining one, when you come, you can manage it yourself with a little support from your friends and family.
The question we are asking today is for you to manifest into your life. So one day I would like to study in, and then you put in the answer in the comment section. Which country do you want to study in one day? We have
I want to ask Hetty the same question. Or are you studying where you want to study?
Oh yes, I mean yes. When I started, sincerity, and I think I recorded a video on this. When I started my whole study abroad journey, I didn't even consider the US because of hearsay. Like
yeah.
everybody, I was just hearing it's difficult to get in. You not even get scholarship. So I was looking to Canada and then Europe. And that's where I put all my eggs. I got admission into two schools in Poland, but then there was no Polish embassy in Ghana, so I started doing calculation, and I have to go to Abuja, and they were giving me a full scholarship, and it actually came with housing and meals and some other stuff. It was very good, but considering the travel and going, it was just too much. So now I decided to look at Canada. I applied, and unfortunately, I got a rejection email. So I think I had a conversation with a friend who was in my first school that I went to, and then she just threw it in our conversation. Why don't you apply to Southern Illinois University Carbondale? And then I did. And then when I applied, did everything I had to do, I got the admission. I was like, so why didn't I look this route the whole time? And fortunately for me, my admission came with funding. I remember very well because it came 2 days to Val's Day. So it was like a joyous moment in the evening receiving the email. I was shouting like the whole world had to hear that I had received something. But yeah, so finally when I came in and then I saw that, oh, this is actually a very good thing. Getting the opportunity to study your program of choice with a full scholarship is a big deal. So it made me understand that hey, I don't need to stick to hearsay because even a friend who was putting it in my head that you will not get admission right now, she's trying to find her way to the US because she was also like trying other countries and it wasn't working for her and all of that. So yeah.
All right. So our guest is on. We have to go ahead and get started. Initially, we thought you'd be joining us earlier. So I don't know if my people miscommunicated the time, but yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. All right. So our guest is. I don't want to mispronounce your name, right? So I need you to. I need you to do the pronunciations for me. Um, Kindly introduce yourself, and then we can get started.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. My name is Adile Yemishuboriwan. I'm the founder of my talent visa.
No, take your time. Please take your time and pronounce the name again.
Okay. My name is Adile.
Adele. Can you push
Yes.
the camera down a little bit so we can have you? Awesome. That's perfect. All right. Take your time. So I know I can pronounce Adele,
Yes.
right? The
Yes.
second name I cannot.
Oh yeah. So it's not only you. Almost even people from other tribes in Nigeria struggle with it. So I don't know for that. Even people from my tribe struggle with it. So, but it's
Yeah.
Mishu Boriwan.
I would love to know the meaning. Adele for Adele is very common. I've heard it a lot of times. What
Yeah.
does it mean?
So Adele means crown has honor.
Crown has honor. Okay,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
okay. And then the second name.
Oh, it's actually funny. It means I'm not a novice. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. It's going to be a great conversation. We are talking to somebody who has received multiple scholarships. He has achieved a lot, and of course, he's also from a country where we are all the continent we are all coming from. So how did he go about this his process, and the amazing things he's doing? He has a lot of services that he can also offer to you if you need help. The name is the Fred Effect. This is the biggest study abroad content platform. My co-host is Ben and Miss Hetty. So let's go ahead and get started, Miss Hetty.
All right, sure. So first of all, thank you for joining us today.
uh okay.
And can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, perfect. So, to set the ball rolling, can you kindly introduce yourself to anyone watching here today? I know you mentioned your name, but if you can introduce yourself briefly, tell us a bit about yourself and what you want to share with us today. Yeah.
Okay, so a bit about myself. I'm currently a master student here at Carnegie Mellon. I'll be finishing this December, so I'm so excited for that. And I'm an international student. I mean, no, I was an international student, but I came here as international student starting by my undergrad. I got a full ride scholarship for my undergrad degree at Waters College in Florida. And when I was done, I got a full tuition scholarship to Carnegie Mellon, which is like the number one program for my field. And over the course of my undergraduate degree, I won about 17 different scholarships. I've got opportunity to visit the White House, to be featured on the billboard. But yeah, I've gotten like several different opportunities that most international students are not exposed to or know they're qualified for. And yeah, I would like to share a bit about how I went through the journey on the podcast today.
Okay, I'm really excited about this because just like you said, you've had the opportunity to experience certain opportunities that other international students have not had the chance to. So I'm glad we're having this conversation today. So anybody watching us today, just know that you are going to be leaving this podcast today with a lot of tips and tricks, nuggets, and some cues from our guests today. So let's start the ball rolling. I know you mentioned you came here as undergrad and then you came with a scholarship and all of that. So let's take you back a bit. Hopefully we can refresh your memory.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So what inspired you to study abroad, especially starting from the undergrad level?
I wanted a different direction in my life. All my life I've been someone that's been really passionate about different things. And fun fact, actually, I was in medical school while I was in Nigeria before deciding to leave. But what I found out was that medicine kind of wants a lot from you, that you have to choose it as your only career. You can do other stuff. And I'm someone that's kind of be multidisciplinary. There are a lot of different passions I want to do, and I want to live different lives in one. So doing that, especially when you're doing that kind of course in Nigeria, like African countries, you are mostly like just directed to do one thing. So I wanted that freedom, and that was why I started. You know what? Maybe I should actually study abroad. And I started looking for undergraduate scholarships. At first, I actually tried France. I was learning French, but in the end, I found out that where I want to go to and the opportunities available in the country, most European countries will not cut it. And specifically for undergraduate scholarship, there's just way more opportunities in the US. So that's why I pivoted to the US to come and study.
I like the fact that you said undergraduate studies, there are more opportunities in the US because I think that's what, at least from my experience and conversations I've had with people, most people do not know like there are opportunities for undergraduate studies. Most people tend to focus on the graduate studies as well. So I like something that you said that back in Nigeria, your interest was in medicine.
I was in medical school.
You were in medical school. So what did you come study in the undergraduate level here?
So I did information systems.
So that's like a whole different switch.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, okay, so medical school into undergrad and doing information systems. Tell us a bit about your application process in that frame, transitioning from medical school into information
So
systems.
luckily for US undergraduate study, it's not like the one for masters. So the one for masters requires a bit of specificity. Mean that if you're applying for like environmental science masters, then you should have some form of like experience or maybe study in that area. But for the US, it's what you need for undergraduate degree is doing your SAT and writing your essays, not like the courses you took in your WIC for your WIC exam. So all I just had to do was write a good essay and take the required exams to be given the scholarships.
I see. So how long have you been in the US for?
I came in 2021 January, so that's 5+ years.
Mm.
Almost. I mean, that's like 4 years plus. Almost. It will be fifth year by January of next year.
So that was like fresh out of COVID.
Yes, actually. Yes.
Interesting. So before like I hand over to my co-host Ben to also ask some questions, like before we get deep, can you just let us know one fun fact about you before we dive into serious business?
One fun fact. Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I love soccer a lot. I be like Messi. Lionel Messi is the best player to ever exist. And I also love playing chess.
You know the podcast you find yourself. You're talking about Messi. I won't say
Okay,
anything.
okay. So anyway, for the purpose of our guest today, he says Lionel Messi is the best to ever do it. He's the goat of all time. So I mean, anyway, so I'm going to hand over to our co-host Ben to also like take us deep into today's conversation.
Yeah, Adele. Yeah, thank you for honoring our invitation and
So you guys are
blessing
welcome.
to this day. Yeah. So from Nigeria, which state?
Ondo State.
To USA.
Yes.
How's the journey like?
Uh, it's not. I mean, I'll say it's smooth, but then again, within Nigeria itself, it's something that I mean, I don't like to discuss more often because it's actually like hardly understood. But there's a difference between you going from a place like Lagos or Abuja to the US, and you going from a place like Ondo State, and not just Ondo State. Ondo State is about the capital that has very way more opportunities for students, but then you're even from like a remote town within the state itself. So um, there was a lot of personal leap I had to do, and also not seeing a lot of people within your community that has done it. Unlike if you're in Lagos and you have to believe that you know what I can actually do this stuff and have that self belief in yourself. So it wasn't an easy journey, but it was rewarding, and I'm even most proud that right now in the town that I was in my community, people have someone to look up to. I know that you know what if that guy can do it, I can also do it. Serving as a sort of inspiration to them, yeah, also motivating me.
Okay. So did you know anyone before you started the process?
No,
So how
I,
did you do it?
I just started searching online. Like I did the entire process myself, and I just started reading online. Thankfully, Neraland is a good resource. Then
Please take
checking.
your time. What was it? You
I said
mentioned online
Neraland.
resource.
Yeah, nairaland.com.
Naira.
Yeah, nairaland.com.
Okay, nairaland.com.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an online forum, and they have several groups. So if you're interested in going to the US, to the UK, they have several groups where they share information. But the information they share is mostly about getting visas. But in undergraduate degree and applying for undergraduate scholarship itself, there's just like a lot of information that is not on there. So I had to read different websites, comb different websites, go on Reddit, watch a lot of YouTube videos to get the understanding of how the application works.
Okay. So what did that process taught you? You like having the passion to study abroad. You started with your bachelor's, right?
Yes.
In the US, and you alone sitting on the computer trying to search for information for yourself. How was the learning curve? Is there any reflection you would like to share with us?
Yes. I feel like the effort that went through that time, right, is reflecting on some of the kind of lessons I apply in my daily life. Why it seems as if some of the things I do, I can achieve a relatively higher level of success at it than other people. And that was one of the lessons I got from having been stressed. The real story is that I was looking for a scholarship, right? But I spent 2 good years looking for it, like 2 whole years searching for scholarships. In the very first year, I got a full tuition scholarship. The deficit that time was 1.8 million naira, which was about $5,700. And I went home, I told my parents, this is the deficit, we need to pay it before they will give me the I-20. And they did not have it, so they asked friends and people that they knew around. And in asking all of them, they came back and said, you know what, we couldn't find anybody to give us this money. Maybe you should just stay and continue your medical education. I was very heartbroken in the fact that I kind of made my parents go through that process of asking people for money in that sense. But the agreement I even had with my dad was for me to actually just, you know what, since this didn't work, just focus on medical study. But instead, I went back again and started searching for the scholarship. I I, I don't know if I made a Twitter post about this, but I emailed more than 1,000 schools for this. So that's why I hear of some people say that they want scholarships, and when you ask them, you know that they've not done like a lot of work in getting it. Some people tell you, know what, I'm not getting PhD scholarships. But if you ask them, how many schools have you actually applied to? How many professors have you emailed? If you have not emailed more than 100 professors and you say you're looking for a PhD scholarship or master's, I don't think you're as heavily committed to it. You get like I can draw a line from you not getting a response to the effort you're currently putting. If you are not emailing at least 100, then I feel like you're still playing on the safe side. I emailed more than 1,000 schools within a 2-year period, and that tenacity in getting scholarships, in being turned down, it keep going again, till I was able to get my full ride scholarship that got me here. Um, is what as like the kind of things I do today is what's like keeping in mind. I know well, maybe you're not going hard enough, because if you go hard enough, in most cases, the universe is going to hear your call.
Miss Etty,
That's true.
Adele is teaching us something today. He says if you have not sent at least 100 emails to professors asking for scholarship, then you've not researched or
And you've
done your best.
not done your
This
best.
is a huge commitment.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is. But there's something you said that just struck me. The tenacity it should do it for you, because I think that's one thing that sometimes people tend not to understand, especially like this whole study abroad journey, especially from the US perspective, that if you don't ask questions, you won't get answers.
You won't get
This is
answers.
one of my personal experience, because when I was also moving into like another grad school, that's what I did. Email professors. I will send all the emails because you wouldn't know. And you said something like, when you hear people say I'm applying for PhD but I'm not getting funding, and PhD funding shouldn't be a problem for you. That's how I also see it, because if you email professors, especially for some fields, you definitely find a professor who is looking for like a student worker to work with on a project or something. So you should be able to send out those emails and get that funding secured as well. I'm really like inspired by this. I personally, I mean, not to deviate from like what Ben was saying, but I have come across your TikTok videos
Oh,
a bunch
okay.
of times,
Mhm.
and I remember listening to one of your content on how it all started and everything, because the way you started the video kind of caught my attention. And I'm like, okay, I have this guy must have really done something extra. But now listening to you impressing on how it all started and everything, I'm like, okay, it's now making sense. Like
Yeah.
it's now really making sense. So to anybody watching us today, like this is the Steady Abroad podcast with the Fred Effect team. And today we happen to have Adeleye here sharing his experience of how he came in through undergrad with a Fulbright scholarship, and he's making us understand that you need to have the tenacity to want to study abroad, because it's not just you saying you want to do it and it happens overnight. You need to put in the work and be intentional about it, and not just like sending any emails, but you also need to be specific and intentional about it. So yeah, I'm liking the conversation so far.
Yeah, it's interesting one.
Mhm.
Sometimes it happens. You see, it's from what Adelia is saying, you have no room to give up. And you have no room to be tired until you get your final response. And I like the fact that he was able to even involve his parents in this process. Please, sometimes we know that from where we come from, we believe in spiritual stuffs and other stuff. Actually, these studies sometimes you need a backup. Mm. So if you're able
Yeah.
to get someone to stand by you, yes, it's really helpful, so that at least when you get to a time where there is no hope, at least you can get someone to rely on and then other stuff. So Adele, how did you deal with your broken heart
Which broken heart?
after after looking at the deficit your parents asked around and you couldn't get the money? How were you able to manage it? Because we have people who have been in this state whereby they've tried all that they can, but there is no positive outcome, and it's like they're heartbroken, they're emotionally down. How did you overcome yours, so that at least those of us who are at that stage like me, we can learn from it?
Yeah, so I'll say, luckily on my part, right, I have a kind of a distinct personality type in which like I can
Which
compartmentalize.
personality? Today is like you are using terms, so
No, no, I said distinct, like I have a separate personality type.
distinct,
Yeah,
distinct personality.
yeah,
Okay.
that I can compartmentalize my feelings, right, and reality. So it was very damning, and I felt really sad that I was not going to go, and my parents could not sponsor me. But I was not even angry at my parents at all, because I know they've tried a lot for us. So it was more of, okay, how can I do better to get a full ride scholarship next time? And why I said I can compartmentalize is that there was a video I made on TikTok one time that I said that the day that you realize your social hierarchy and your racial hierarchy in life, right, that's where your life has a turnaround. I understood my social hierarchy, that, you know what, we do not have money, right? So even though I feel sad, right, I do not have the liberty to feel sad that long. The only things that will change my situation right now is not me crying, it's me looking for more schools that will give me full ride scholarship. So I would say I was heartbroken for about a month or two, but even that period, I kept searching and searching and searching. In fact, right, my scholarship, I got it not directly because I was searching and found it online. Was that in my connections and searching scholarship, a friend was in a particular school that gave me full ride that was with the previous year. So I was checking about the school and I found the president's Instagram page. So I followed the president's Instagram page, which was private. And this school, I applied to them, but they told me there wasn't scholarship. But close to around like May period the following year, the president put out that we still have 4 presidential scholarships left. That anyone that has above this particular score in SAT and GPA should reach out. So I DM'd the president, and the president said, okay. The next thing was that I got an email from the woman that told me before that there was a scholarship that I've been given the presidential scholarship. So it's like a whole, you have to know that depending on where you are, where your family is, like if you don't have as much money and maybe like lower middle class, you need to put in more effort. You don't have the luxury of being sad about your life that much. You just have to keep going and going and going.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting one. So my first take home today is that anytime you feel like there is no hope, please don't get brokenhearted. Even though it may come, with commitment, you'll be able to get to where you want to go. So this is my first take home from Adeleye. Thank you so much for such an inspiring conversation. Miss Eti, you want to take on from here?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm learning a lot so far. So now let's get into like serious business. So for anybody watching us today, I know you mentioned the name of the school you are in currently. So just to go over, can you tell us the name of the school where you had your bachelor's degree, which state, and then where you are currently now?
Yeah, so I had my bachelor's degree in Edward Waters University, is in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
Sadly, now they don't give scholarship to international students again, but back then they used to. And the school I'm currently in is Carnegie Mellon University.
Okay, and where is that located?
Is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay, okay. That's cool. So what inspired you to choose the US and not any other country?
The US is the best country in the world. That's my belief, right? The US is a place where you can literally come from nothing and go to, like, you can become something as long as you're willing to work, right? I know that there are outliers to this, right? But I would say like in 7 out of 10 cases, as long as you're willing to work, you're determined, you're going to get rewarded for it in the US. So it's not necessarily about like the school system in itself, even though that's great. It's about what are like the different societal conditions surrounding it, the different opportunities that you can have access to. And I can say this boldly, and I can argue it anyway with any person, that there is no place on earth that has as much opportunities as the US. You just have to know how to position yourself and how to find these opportunities.
Okay. Ben, I'm sorry about today, but like there's some connection.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. That's good. So, did you apply to any other countries, or your focus was just on like the US?
It was just on the US.
Okay. So, undergrad level, I know you did a lot of research into that. Can you remember how many schools you applied to?
In all honesty, I can't. But you can
Did you
put
say
it
it was more than
around
10?
like 20, no, like 20 plus. I think I applied about 20 plus. Because I do a lot of research before I even submit the application. So you send out emails to know if they even have opportunity in the first place, then you now submit your application.
Okay. So, since it's been a while for the undergraduate program, let's focus on the graduate program, which is fresh. So I remember, like, I know that will kind of be fresh in your mind. How
Yeah.
many schools did you apply to for your graduate program as well?
Okay. This particular part is funny. And I'll say that I was a bit more cocky this period. Um and because of I wanted to have time to do other things. I didn't want to do research or teaching assistantship. And I also wanted to apply to top schools. So I only applied to schools that give scholarships because scholarship now I get the money to like pay for my living expenses without having to do teaching assistantship and research assistantship on campus. So I only applied to two schools, and one of the schools was Columbia University. I got in, but I didn't get the full ride scholarship I was looking for. Then Carnegie Mellon, I got in, and they gave me their full scholarship.
Hmm.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's actually very smart. And there's something that I always hear people say, like once you get into the system and you get to know how things are run here, when you want to make certain steps, it's kind of easy for you, and you know the direction and the focus at which. So that's interesting. Now, did you happen to pay application fee for all the universities that you applied to, especially for your bachelor's degree, because it was over 20 schools?
Not necessarily. I think I only paid about application for about three schools, probably three out of the 20 schools.
Hmm. So the other ones were like application fee waivers.
Few waivers, mostly yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's cool. So let's talk a bit about your visa interview. Most people never forget their visa interviews.
Oh, I
Except
won't forget mine. Actually.
so let's talk about your visa interview. Did you go for it like Abuja, Lagos? And how was the
So,
experience like?
so I actually had two visa interviews.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first one was I was denied in Lagos, and till now I don't understand why. Because I had a full ride scholarship. I even had like an extra $5,000 scholarship. That's an external scholarship. So I was way over the like required amount I was even needed. And I believe in my second interview I didn't change any of my responses because I was confident that what I was saying wasn't wrong. But only that the difference was that this second time I already finished my first semester, and I just had to say because I was taking the first semester in Nigeria during COVID. I was doing it online, and finishing it, I had the perfect GPA. So in my next interview at Abuja, I didn't start the traditional like, oh yeah, what do you want to go and do in the US? So like, I'm going to continue my studies and I already have a 4.0 GPA. So I think that impressed the visa officer. And second time in Abuja, he gave me the visa.
That's that's actually a very good one because you leveraged on what could speak more to your story. So it's
Yes,
like that. See, Adele, like it's like the thing you already you had a plan.
I had a plan for it
You
actually.
had a plan, and you made sure that you decided to stick to every part of the plan, and that's the beauty of things because when you have the plan in motion and you see it play out, it's beautiful. Because sometimes you sit down and you reflect, you're like, look at all the hard work I did now and how much
Yes.
it's paid off for me.
Miss Etty, you know what is surprising me? I'm thinking like after SHS, at that age, what will even trigger him to start beginning sending emails to professors for like that's what I'm thinking
Sure.
of. Because like honestly, by then we didn't even know anything like emails. Like
Uh,
so Adley, were you living on a different planet? Like
I just had a lot of hunger back then. I didn't even know why, but I had a lot of hunger.
yeah, which is very good because I
Yeah,
feel
because I'm really like amazed with that. Because honestly, I have to be frank, at that time, our age group, like it will never occur. Like honestly, unless maybe you are from the B or like the high top family, then therefore then you get the exposed. But with
yeah.
the normal average Ghanaians, like I will be shocked as at that time, even if we know how to send email. So I
Yeah.
think it's a good start. You did well. You keep it up. I love your whole passion and enthusiasm about the whole process. Mister T, you
Yeah,
can.
it's very interesting because honestly, back then most of the things you hear is, oh, go write SAT. That's what to get you, you know. But just like Ben mentioned, average middle class families cannot necessarily afford the cost of SATs back then. So for you to have that mindset at that age is something that I think this generation needs. So like,
Oh yeah, definitely.
well,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I think
yeah,
there is
giving
something he can share with us with that. If
yeah. I think
that
in one of his TikTok videos, he emphasizes on like taking opportunities and being hungry. I think I came across one of your TikTok videos about being hungry for success even at like a tender age. I came
Yeah.
across one of your TikTok videos where you're talking about something on that line. So I feel like that's something that this generation needs a lot because like I was about to say, AI is now available to you, so you can easily like type in, give me a list of schools that would offer this course with scholarships and stuff like that. That kind of makes it easy. So let's talk about moving to the US. Before you came, I mean, you mentioned like family back home, parents, and all of that. Let's talk about your transition process to the US, especially as an undergrad, like fresh out of high school. Now you are here to come do your undergraduate studies, unlike graduate school where life is already sorted out. So you're coming in. Let's talk about your transition period into the US. Do you happen to remember like how that beginning experience was like for you coming in as an undergrad?
Maybe I'll need a bit more specifics, but generally it was. I'll say it was really nice. I'm pretty sure I had a fair understanding of the US before coming. I was kind of also invested in like the different politics, the different rules, different laws around it, and I had the understanding that I want to come and work, because sometimes people have the understanding that they are going to the US is a perfect place, and when you come, you see that okay, it's actually like a normal place, like everywhere, even though they have like way better opportunities, and but when you come with that mindset that I'm coming to enjoy, right? What would be like a very bad mindset, because your first realities when you're learning, especially when you don't have a family here, you don't have as much money, is going to be really, really harsh. I came with the mindset that I wanted to work. It didn't matter. I was really, really determined about it. For context, I I was really happy that I got a full ride scholarship. So my feeding was covered, my accommodation was covered, tuition was covered. As long as those three were covered and I can come here, I know that I'm going to make something out of it. In fact, I only came with like $90. That was the total money I brought into the US. $90. Because I already paid all my flights. I'm landing in school. I know that I don't have to worry much. Except when I came, I know you have to buy some brush, you have to buy detergent for washing clothes. But then again, I was lucky that
interesting.
I had a friend.
Mm.
The guy that was already in the school before, I had him there. So whatever like the minor things that were needed, I know I could cover it. But unlike in most cases, which I say like in some cases I cannot relate with a typical international story in some way, because I luckily had a better like better experience and in general regarding it. Also because in addition to my full scholarship, I already got like two external scholarships before I even came. So in me landing, I was expecting okay, I'll get some refund from the school that also helped me in sustaining myself. So that was how the experience was.
So you talk about scholarship opportunities that you had, two external scholarships and then this Fulbright. Let's talk a bit about the scholarships. How did you hear about them? The application process. How did you go about it in the first place? So anybody watching who feels like they have to just focus on the school they are going to or the program they are going to study to secure a scholarship or an assistantship there, at least they can know that they can also look on the outside. There are other opportunities there as well.
So it's two, right? The first one I searched online. I usually search online for the scholarships right? And I know the damning part about this is that 80% or about 90% of the scholarships out there, they are only eligible for US citizens and permanent residents, right? Meaning that, and if you're an international student, you search like, let's say, first 13 scholarships, and everything you're not eligible, you just give up and say, "Oh, I'm not eligible." But if, again, I'm saying that if you don't have money and you actually need this to better your life, you don't have a choice but to bear it and keep searching and searching. So luckily, I was able to see a scholarship that was open to international students then, and I submitted my application. For the second scholarship, the school I got in was an HBCU, historically Black College University, and there's this organization called UNCF that gives scholarships specifically to students from HBCUs. So that their capacity is that if they have 100 scholarships, at least like 95 of them will be for citizens and permanent residents, only like about five. In fact, all the scholarships that I've ever been to international students, I've been checking that website for like probably like five actually in total. There's the UNCF scholarship. There's one called Chrome and Foster. I think the Disney one too. Those three scholarships are for international students can apply. So, and they only this scholarship for the UNCF they only give 10 persons. But I applied and luckily I was selected for it.
Okay. Okay, that's good. So, going after like your undergrad and then now grad school, you're here. But even before that, do you have a fair idea of how much it cost in total to like move from Nigeria to the US? If you have a fair idea, if you remember.
Oh yeah, I do remember. Are you talking from the visa application stage?
Every like visa application stage, transitioning flights, everything to
Okay.
the US.
So visa was 160. Visa was $160 back then. Then in addition, you have to pay your service fee, which was about was it $350? Yeah, it was $350. Yeah, it was 200. Then during my year, they changed to $350. Um, flight then. Oh my god, things are spoiled now. Flight then was about 211,000, and
Mm,
exchange rate was about $1 to 500 naira. So you can do the calculation. I think about 500 or something in. No, it was four something actually. It was four something dollars. Um, that was flight from Nigeria to the US. I used Royal Air Maroc. Probably never use them again. So
why?
yeah, I did have the best
Yeah, I
experience.
think I've used that flight before to Morocco, right?
Morocco, yeah.
That was the same flight I used.
Oh,
Um,
really?
Yeah.
We don't have money like
That's
you.
funny,
I
now.
We
It's
are
don't
the
know
best
not
if
of
you,
money.
if you did you transit in Morocco? Did you transit in Morocco?
Yes, I
Yeah,
stopped in Morocco. Yeah,
I had to sleep in Morocco, and it was honestly it was a terrible experience ever.
yes,
I don't know
yes.
if they have improved because it was a long time ago, but
Mhm.
I would not even ask my heater to go through that stress.
Exactly.
Yeah, I tell you. Anyway, but if you don't have money coming from Nigeria, you have no idea what flights is even
Exactly.
about. So the most important thing is get me there.
Getting there,
But
exactly.
my experience was like taking keke in Nigeria. You know what keke is?
Yes.
Yeah, bro. So and normally the essence of people having to go through this experience is not necessarily for themselves alone, and for the benefit of other people. So apart from going through this process and experiencing it, Adele has also make time to assist people who want to also go through the process, especially the immigration route. I want you to talk to us about that. You've gone through the experience. You have all it takes. Now, there are other people listening to you who dream to be where you are. You know the road. What have you put in place? Your social media platforms that you're using to show people the way. Talk to us about that, bro.
Yeah, so I put several things in place. I can talk about this forever. The EB1 and EB2. So first question, Ben and Misati, are you guys international students or are you green card holders now?
I'm international student here in the US.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I'm
okay.
in the UK, so
Oh, I mean, even
international.
it still applies to you to be fair. So
Uh,
you can go from being an F1 student to a green card holder, and you can do this yourself. You don't need a job offer. You don't need employer sponsorship. You can just do it based on your credentials. And there are two categories of that. There's the EB1 and there's the EB2. The EB1 is for people at the top of their field, is highly restrictive. Then the EB2 is for people that, you're still some kind of experts in it, but there are different criteria that are involved in it. I don't know if I have time to talk about it.
Yeah, sure. You can touch on that.
Okay. So first I will start. I think I should go back to how categories of visas. So I'll say if you want to get a green card, right, there's family sponsored, which is either you marry like a green card holder, your spouse wants to, I mean, your father wants to file for you, those several categories. But if you're coming and you're probably one of the first people in your family to be here, then you are more concerned with the second, which is employment based. And employment based, there are five categories. There is I'll start with the EB5. The EB5 is the investment green card, which is only by $1 million to get that. The EB4 is for religious workers. So people that are here on RO visas, that's religious RO1, RO2 visas. Then EB3 is the one that your company files for you. So when you hear people say that after my H1B, my company will file a green card for me, they're talking about the EB3. And that one, you need a company to actually file for you. Then there's the EB2. The EB2, your company can file for you, right? And they have to do what they call labor certification, meaning that they have to submit comprehensive evidence that this your job that you have. They posted it online, and they posted it online for a lot of time. But the idea is that they made a lot of efforts to look for a US person for the job, and they could not find a US person. That's why they not give it to you, which is why it's called the PEM process. But luckily, they now say that okay, there may be some cases where some people might be well qualified to want to do something very important in the US. And in this particular case, we should waive the requirement of a job offer for them so that they can get the green card. That's why it's called NIW, which is National Interest Waiver, because we are waiving the requirement of a job offer if it's going to benefit the national interest of the US. And for the EB2, right, you have to think about the EB2 and NIW separately, even though they are the same. The EB2 you can qualify in two ways. If you have a master's degree, you qualify for the EB2. If you have a PhD, you qualify for it under advanced degree. And that's for the master's too. If you don't have this, if you have a bachelor's with 5-year work experience, you still qualify for the EB2 under the advanced degree category. So if you don't qualify under advanced degree category, then there's the exceptional ability category. And there are about 6 criteria, you only have to meet 3. So after you have satisfied any of this category for the EB2, you now go to the NIW part, where you have to write what you want to do in the US. So when people have a master's degree and maybe lawyers are helping them with the EB2, people are helping them, they're basically helping them with writing the argument for the national interest waiver. You have to write that what you want to do is in national interest of the US. Number 2, you are well qualified to carry it out. This is where your accolades come in, that beyond you having a master's degree, do you have awards? Do you have certifications? Are you a member of professional associations? How many scholarly articles have you written? How many citations does that have? Have you been featured in media? Have you been invited to judge the work of others? All these things are going to help you in the second part. Then the last part is where you just write a final argument that would this benefit the US to waive the labor certification for you, or will you be needed to require it? So if you satisfy these 3 criteria for the NIW, you're going to be given your green card. So I think I should stop here so I can ask me questions before I move on to the EB1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's an interesting one, and I'm curious about these ones. So let's say, so it means that when I come to the US and I want to study, I shouldn't really focus on lectures from the way you are speaking. It means that if I have in mind to get my green card, I should get involved in these community stuffs and other issues. Is that the point you're trying to make? Because from the requirement, it seems like if you don't have those experiences, it will be very difficult for you to apply for your green card, even if you qualify.
Yes. So those criteria, how they ascertain your qualifications, is not just enough to just be going. And that's why I started making my TikTok video to educate people, because there are a lot of opportunities that you have, and all you just have to do is let me just go to this event to meet the criteria. And people don't volunteer or try to use themselves for those opportunities. And now when you graduate and you want to self-petition for your green card, you find out that even though you are a very, very smart and exceptional person, beyond your GPA, which USCIS doesn't even value as much, you don't have a lot of other
You don't
places.
really value the GP of which is even your main purpose of moving
Yeah.
into the country.
Yes, because everybody has good GPA. That's what USIS will tell you. Everybody has good GPA. So what is now making you stand out? And your experiences from even your home country can be used. So it doesn't have to be the US. You guys in UK, right? If you have
Mm.
a joint membership in the UK and you have a master's degree already, you are also qualified, even though you're in the UK. You don't have to be in the US to qualify.
Oh, so it means I can apply from here.
Yes. Wait, first of all, do you have a master's degree?
Yes, so I have 2 master's degree.
How many years of work experience?
Oh, okay. So one interesting thing about me was I worked before I started with my studies. So I worked like 4 years in Ghana.
After
Before
your
I,
bachelor's?
yes, after my bachelor. So
Oh
I
yeah,
worked
that's
for
that's
4
still
years.
that still helps.
Yeah, before
So
I
you know,
started.
with your master's degree, you can I mean, if you have all the other things I mentioned, right, it's going to help you. In fact, having 2 master's degrees is like really a strong point because the NIW they evaluate it based on the Danasa case, right? The Danasa case was the case, I think maybe that early 2000 or late 90s, where they now said, you know what, this is the case we are not going to be based all NIW on. And one thing was that he had 2 master's degree, so that helps his case. So if you have 2 master's degree on rating, you're actually like a relatively more
No,
qualified person for it. Yeah.
Adeleye, please take your time with this. You have to really. It's not for myself, oh, I bet.
I mean, that's true for everybody else watching.
Yes, because I just want you to be clear here so that we get it right. So
Yes.
you mean that right now, even if let's say the person is in Nigeria,
People can apply from Nigeria.
has
People actually
2
apply and get it from Nigeria.
master's degree or 1 master degree, has a lot of work experience, the person can apply from Nigeria straight and get his green card.
Yes. People have done it.
Oh, this is new. This is new. And Miss
Lack of
Etty,
knowledge. Lack of
we are
knowledge.
parish, you know.
People have done it. And I'm sure if you're also in the UK, you get not just like the work experience itself, right? But all those other things I mentioned, you don't have to have all of them. But if you have like a significant amount of them, you get, even though you don't have papers, because people focus on papers, you don't necessarily have papers. But if you have been featured in media, right? What USI just wants to know is that are there like objective proof about you that you know what you are actually who you say you are, you're well qualified to want to do what you want to do. Do you
Yeah,
get? For example,
if Red,
what's
if
your
Red can share the link, I think it will be fine.
Yeah, I think we would have Fred put up the link to your TikTok page, which is what I have seen. I don't know if you have like a YouTube channel or something.
so I
And
only
then
have, I'm not doing my TikTok now, so I don't get overwhelmed.
okay, so yes, we'll have that app so at least people can reach out to you because I know this is something that you do and you assist people through the process. So if you're watching us today and listening to the nuggets that Adelia is sharing with us today, you can understand that there's so much more that you need to know and there's so much more you can achieve. So he does this as a personal service to assist people. So if you think this is a route you want to go through, you can reach out to him on his TikTok page, which we would put up so that people can know, and also reach out to you on your personal page to kind of take them through. I'm saying this mainly because I know everybody's experiences is different. So
Yeah.
sometimes you try to listen to people's experience and know which category they fit, right?
Yes. So that's why I do a profile evaluation call. And it's paid. I'm just putting it out there.
Yes.
But
So
that's why I do it.
yes, so anybody watching us today, just know that he has gone through the process. He is a testament of the process himself. So, which means that this is someone who knows what he's doing. And again, just like he mentioned, it's a paid service that he's going to dedicate his time to do it because time is money here in America. So, that time that he's going to be using to take you through, he could have been using that for something else, but he's going to spend that time to do that process for you. So, again, we'll put up his TikTok and then on all our social media platforms just so you can reach out to him if you want to go through this route. And then eventually he'll take you through as well. But again, remember, it's a paid service. So have that at the back of your mind before you go reach out. And also the little thing that I want to share is in reaching out to people about setting services and all of that. And this is to everybody watching us today. Try to go straight to the point just to kind of make the work easy for the person to understand your situation and then how to help him, because the more right? I started from here and it's long, So
Yeah.
just like shorten the process and make it easy for him or whoever they are reaching out to, even in school application, for somebody to step in and help you. Go straight to the point, and then it makes it easy for the information that you're looking for to be provided to you as well. So this is very interesting because I didn't know you can be out of the country and apply for any of these NIWs and be able to get approved for, because my mind has just been preconditioned. Oh, you have to come get a master's here in the US before you can actually apply. So I'm happy we are having this conversation today. So if you are watching us today, these are some of the benefits of joining the Fred Effect Study Abroad podcast. We always come with guests who have something different to share each and every Saturday. So I don't know, Ben, you want to ask him, because I can see that
Yeah,
this conversation.
yeah, this one there. I have to throw one more question. Please, are there any cost involved?
Oh yeah, there's cost involved. It's I mean, for average international student, I say it's quite like an expensive process. The fee itself. Then I also have my own like service fee if I want to write the petition for you. If you don't want me to write petition for you, I have like several free resources I can point you to. But I see it as an investment because once you have your permanent stay, you will not be worried about the visa issues, immigration changes. You won't be worried about losing your job, and you won't be worried about like in case you are laid off, you won't be like have a time pump of 60 days to go back to your home country. And if you want to start a business or pick up something on the side to fend for yourself before you get a standard job, you can also do that. So the amount of freedom and stability this will offer you far outweigh the cost. But yes, there's a cost to it. If you want to do normal processing for both the EB1 and EB2, normal processing takes is about $1,000. That's $1,015, and they will reply to you in like a year. But for premium processing for the EB1, it will reply to you in 15 business days. Why for the EB2 in 45 business days for premium processing, and that costs a total of 3,820.
Do I have to go for interview, and is there a chance of me getting denied?
You for the EB2, there are two stages generally, right? So once you get your I-140 approved, I-140 is the employment-based application for either the EB1 or the EB2. Once you get it approved, that one there's no interview in that stage. That one's like you're writing something, they are reading and they're approving you. But once they approve you, now because you're in the UK, you have to do consular processing. And in that one, they don't necessarily interview you per se. They just check your documents if it's correct, and they just ask you, just want to know if all the things you filled in your change of in your consular application form is correct, and if you have any criminal history. If you don't, so those are the things they just check for. Your chance of denial is if you have a criminal history, or if you have lied significantly in your application and they find out.
Okay, so for those in the US, just like Ben asked, those in the US don't have to go for any interview process.
You might go,
Okay.
right? But it's at random. For those in the US, you have to do your change of status, which is like you are changing from your F1 to your green card status. And unless you can only be denied if you've either worked illegally, mean that you violated the terms of your F1 status, or if you have ever committed a huge crime that is like there's a category of felony that you have to commit for them to not want to give you the green card. So that are the two reasons. And they can also call you for the interview. But interview is just they're not asking you based on the application you submitted. It's just like, oh, the change of status you filled. Oh, have you ever committed any crime? No. Have you ever participated in terrorist activity? No. So those are the questions they just ask you, and they would give it to you. But it's on a case by case basis. In my case, I wasn't called for an interview. My friend was called for an interview. But I'll say like in about 10 to 20% of cases now they call. In the previous administration, they don't call for employment-based green cards, but family-based they call you for interview. But with the new administration, they kind of brought it back that routinely we should call people for interviews, even for the employment-based applications.
Is this the website? If I'm, did I get a website
Yes,
correct?
yes,
Good.
yes.
So there's a whole website that is set up for to go through the process. So I'll share the link in the video description as well. But walk us through the website. If we go to this website, what are we expecting? What help or some sort of support are you giving here?
So on the website, I have a page dedicated to EB1A and the EB2 NIW, like all the main information you need to know about it, and even like I think I added the cost. I can't remember, but all the main information you need to know about it are there. But if you don't want to go through learning it, I have a self-assessment form there, which is like you can say assess yourself. When you click on it, you can be able to fill. You want to you fill your name, right, your email address, then assess yourself for either the EB1 and the EB2, whichever one you satisfy. Then after that, you can choose to either book a call with me or not.
I see. So the website is mytalentvisa.com. Mytalent,
Yes.
mytalentvisa.com. The link is being shared in the video description. I'll post it on the so that you can also know that. So this is the website that you can get all the help you need to go through the process. So it, you have a lot of scholarships and all that. Do you also help people with that?
No, I don't. I don't do scholarships. Because when I made some posts about it, people reach out to me about like if anybody wants to be charging you money for helping you scholarship, the person probably want to be scamming you because the chance of you getting a scholarship relative to the effort you put in is low.
Mhm.
Yet you have to, no matter how good the person is, you have to probably apply to like 10, 15 scholarships before you get one or before you get 3 in them. So it's not like it's something you can give an advice on how somebody can go. You can review an essay, that's fine. But to charge for a scholarship service I don't think is honest in a lot of
All
ways.
right. So you're currently pursuing a master's degree at the moment,
Yes.
which means you got your approval with your bachelor's degree.
Yes.
Oh, awesome. All right. Mr. We can continue.
Okay, thank you so much, Fred. So, basically, now that you're educating us on all of these things, it's kind of making like a lot of people get more interested in, knowing the whole process. And I can see Ben so excited about this conversation.
Yes, I'm fighting for our people in Nigeria and Ghana.
Yes. And wanting to know more about this. I know you touched on the cost, but if you can reiterate how much like the regular processing is, how long it takes, and then the premium processing, and if you could a bit like differentiate or give a breakdown of what goes into the whole amount of money that is being paid. Does that make sense? So if
Yeah.
somebody is saying that they are paying $1,000, they know they are paying like the the form, the fee, printing, and all of those things. Yeah.
Yeah. So the fee for the form itself, you get, is the $1,015, and it's also kind of breaking down to be fair. The fee for the form is $715, but now within last year, USIS introduced the mandatory asylum fee to help people that are filing for asylum. They were just paying on their behalf, so you have to add extra 300, which now makes it $1,015. So that's what you use to submit the form itself, right? Now, in submitting the form, you also have to submit your petition with the form, which is like your written arguments along with the evidences. That's where my editorial services help. And that one, the price range. The price range from like 5 to 7,000, depending on the application itself. And if you don't want to use my services, you can reach out, go online. There are lawyers that offer these services for different prices. You can also use that. And for the for the premium processing, it costs an extra 2,805, which is why the total money for the premium processing is 3,820. So now, if you want to write it yourself and submit it premium processing, you are going to spend 3,820. That's the amount you are going to spend.
Okay. So that means everybody has to pay the asylum fee right now. So it's a mandatory fee
Yeah,
that you can. Oh,
you can skip it. Yeah.
okay. That's cool. Ben, do you have any question for him or you want me to go ahead and ask?
Yeah, I think we are done with this visa issue. So
So,
it's kind of interesting, and this is the reason why we always recommend the Freddy Fed Study Abroad podcast to others, because every day, every weekend, there is something new. Because we are dealing with what people have gone through, not what it is like. We are not prophets to prophesy. We are dealing with what is working at the moment. So please, if you have not shared the links, let's try and then get this information across the continent of Africa. And we hope that some people are going to be beneficial. And I'm so glad that Adeleye, you have taken this mandate to at least fish out this info. You know, the funny thing, some people have been in US for so many years, and it's like they themselves, they are struggling to even understand these basic stuffs.
Mm-hmm.
So it means that even if you are in the US, please, you still need the Freddy Fed podcast.
Oh yes,
You
yes.
still need it, because it is meant for not just studying, not for you to go and study, even life after abroad,
study, yeah.
after studies. So thank you. Life after studies matters a lot, and this is the only platform that can help you to know all the tricks and the way to find yourself through successfully. So please, let's try and then share the links as much as we can so that others will be beneficiary. So maybe the only thing is, if we are to reset the clock, I'm sure we will talk about your experience, but if we are to reset the clock back, looking at the whole process from bachelor's to your master's to movement in the USA, what will you have done differently?
That's a deep question. Honestly, I can't think of anything actually.
I think looking at your experience that you shared so far, it feels like you basically like tightened every loose end before. So it's kind of
I can't
like
think of, to be honest. It's not like I don't know. I can't think of anything. And like I say, it's like a personality type for me. Like I don't dwell on regret as much, so it doesn't make me reflect on, oh, this is what could have been better. Except maybe when I work on some projects, you can see, oh, I could have done this in project. But in my life experiences generally, I have the mindset that even disappointments kind of prepare me. Like if I not had disappointment, I'll be prepared for this or know what to do. So I won't say that there is anything that I had a regret for, to be
No
honest.
problem. No problem. So what has kept you so far? What has kept you moving so far? There's something you would like to share with us so that we learn from you. Because here you have to make sure that you don't leave full. You have to leave here empty by the time you leave this stage.
Oh yeah, so I'll say my family and like my background. So and knowing that despite me putting a lot of effort, there's still aspect of luck to it. I always still attribute some things to luck. I know I'll say I put a lot of effort in a lot of things, but there's still some form of luck in it. And that makes me appreciate where I'm at. I know that, well, you have a real opportunity. Don't like slack on it. Always keep trying to use it, being thankful for it. So that drives me to keep doing more and more and more and more.
Interesting. So how would you differentiate between luck and opportunity? Do you think life is about opportunity, or it's like who is lucky?
It's about both actually. I feel like you have to work really hard to be lucky. That's the thing. People talk about luck, but you have to work hard to be lucky. For
So the
example,
lucky itself is hard work.
lucky is hard work, yeah. Lucky, yeah. In a lot of cases,
Interesting.
there are some minor cases where it be like, okay, somebody just tries one thing, it works for them once. Even like coming abroad, I've seen some cases where somebody will just hear by a school, apply to that school from somebody that has a connection, and the person would, get the scholarship. But in a lot of other cases across life, you find out that the more you apply yourself to an area, the more the chance of luck increases. In fact, there's a book about how to increase your tendency for you to be lucky.
Okay,
Yes.
interesting. So please know that even to be lucky is hard work.
Yes, it
So
is.
it's like someone who wants to stake a lotto. If you don't stake, how will you be lucky to win?
Yes.
So try whatever you're doing, try as much as possible to put in the much hard work, and I'm sure you're going to get the result. So quickly, can you tell us a bit about your experience in the state, since you think it is the only country in the world at the moment?
Yeah, no, I think it's the best country in the world. I've had a lot of remarkable experiences I've seen in the state, especially from background. Um, so I started on a full ride on the grad scholarship, and while I was in my undergrad, I was applying to a lot of external scholarship, And I know this is something that most international students are heavily slept on. In fact, before I even go to my own experience itself, there was a girl that my very close friend met at a competition and was telling her that, like you can win external scholarships in the US as international student. And the girl was saying, no, you can't. That when she landed on her school, they told her that she can't, like as an international student, you should not just forget about external scholarships and try to look for what campus work that you can do. And she's been told that she has kept that in her mind until my friend told her that, I know what, you can actually win, and my friend does win. And luckily for her, my friend won a $10,000 scholarship, like in her presence, that she saw the email. So she was saying, I know what, this is actually possible. So the girl went back to her school, and between her junior year and her senior year, she won about $80,000 in external scholarships. These were like series of 10,000, 10,000, 5,000, 10,000 from several organizations, and to show that it's really possible. And in my own experience too, I won about 17 different scholarships over the course of my undergrad study. And this is something that is possible, but you need a lot of work in searching for the scholarships, and also being smart in not applying, in not searching for like highly general scholarships. It's not that you should limit yourself, but you don't want to put as much of your mind there. Search for scholarships that have, I mean, back then I used to check for like 1,000, 2,000, but a point got where I always check for scholarships that are like $5,000 and above. Check for that, but also check for something that reduces competition and makes you unique. For example, instead of checking for scholarships, check for Black scholarships or scholarships for immigrants. One thing that also even better, you can check for scholarship for your major. If your major is information systems, you can check for scholarships in information systems. With the amount of scholarships that I've seen while searching, there is a lot of uniqueness to several scholarship applications in the US that people don't know because they don't search as much enough. Last 3 weeks, there was scholarship I will have to say I did not apply for, but there was scholarship for people that are into BDSM. There's a scholarship for people that have, I mean, the person with requirements that you have to have below 3.5, below 3.0 GPA to apply. Meaning that if you have above 3.0 GPA, you are not even qualified for the scholarship. Which means that for the several aspects of your life, anything that makes you unique, just go and search. There's scholarship for that. There's scholarship for atheists in the US. You can check. There's scholarship for people that use left hand to right. So those are the things. What makes you unique as a person? Search for that scholarships, and the curvature of your sources. So the likelihood of you winning increases in it.
Thank you. So now let's talk about your 17 scholarship. Did all the money come into your pocket, or it was reinvested in your fees? Some scholarship are such that they don't give you the money personal.
Yes,
so you have to maybe use it to pay your that you're in full scholarship. What happened to the remaining scholarships that you earn?
So luckily, because I had a full ride scholarship, I didn't have any deficit. And also luckily, because I know some schools have several rules, but luckily my schools give refund for extra scholarships. So some of the scholarships I won, they were sent to me directly. Then the ones that were sent to school, I also got a refund on them.
The school refunded it to you?
Yes.
Hey, Charlie, then you'll be billionaire.
No, but that was because I also could not work off campus as an international student, except when you make money during the summer. So a lot of like the living expenses, holidays, where you stay during holidays, housing, feeding, that's where the money went to cover.
17 scholarships. That's interesting. So please, if you are watching us, here is Adeleye, who had the opportunity to study in the US on a Fulbright scholarship. But when he was there, he didn't give up on his dream. He kept on searching for scholarship, and he had additional 16 more scholarships some of them were paid to the university directly, but because he was already on Fulbright scholarship, the school refunded him back the money. So Adeleye, it means that if I'm in the US, for instance, if I'm coming now and maybe I have a deficit of, let's say, 30,000, what it means is that I don't really need student loan. I can be searching for these type of scholarships and I may be able to sort myself out. Is that the case?
Yes, but obviously I'll not use the bank on that, to be fair, because there's still chance of you winning or not winning, right? But it's really possible. I know people that my friends now that are here, but undergrad, and they have like deficit of about 5,000, 6,000 per semester. In most cases, if you have deficit of 5,000, 6,000 per semester, and you are someone that applies yourself to a lot of opportunity, you're able to pay that off. But 30,000 probably that's not, it's still possible, but that's on like a lower probability point.
No, okay. So actually, would we say that to study abroad, money is really not a problem? Would you
Uh,
support that claim?
so that's the thing. My experience is not the experience of a lot of people, right? So money is actually a problem for most people. Right? It's a problem for most people, regardless. So, like I said, I was lucky in the fact that I had a different mindset about going for things, but money is a problem.
So
But if
why
you're
would money
apply
be a problem to others, but wouldn't be a problem to others? Because we need to understand the balance. Then we can know how to advise.
oh yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I know the chance.
Because
Like
because you are initially from a background whereby your parents even couldn't afford your deficit to the extent that you even got broken heart. And here comes, you are now enjoying with over 17 scholarships, different scholarships. So initially, money was a problem, but now money is not a problem. So can we understand at what point is money a problem and at what point is money not a problem, so that at least we can know how to.
yeah, that I'm saying. Like I think your question before was more focused on like if I think like if it's really feasible for you to raise the money here, right? And it's
Yeah.
very feasible. But like I say, right, it's not a general advice I'll give to everybody. There's some advice that I can give to my there's some advice I can give to my very, very close friend. I
Please,
won't do
please
for
wait. Pause. Let me read this comment loud though. They said Miss Hetty is crashing on Adelie. We'll come to this matter.
Um,
yeah, thanks
Okay.
yeah.
Miss Hetty.
So I'll say that there's some
Okay,
advice that
this is
I
so
can give.
fortunate. So Adelie, please continue.
Yeah, that's my advice that I can give my friend because people are different personality type, but I will not give other people. Like if you are someone that has high grades, you are highly tenacious and you are smart. I would say regarding risk in the US taking loans, I would advise you to take a loan and come here before you finish. You might get enough scholarship to pay it off. But I don't want us to now give like a blanket statement to people and say that oh you can come here scholarships because people have different grades, people have different like mindsets towards this. So in that case, it's not a blanket statement I'll make. But if you know you're hardworking, you have grades, and if you get 10 rejections, you don't mind applying the 11th time, then in a balance of probability is most likely way more beneficial for you to actually I will advise you to take the chance of coming here with a loan.
Oh, okay. So that's
Yes.
an interesting one. So all that Adele is trying to say is that maybe you might have a deficit. If you get a loan, take it and come. But when you come, don't sleep. There are still other scholarships that are running throughout the year, and you have to redirect your search terms. So, for instance, you can search for scholarship for Black people. He's even saying that even if you don't believe in God, you
Yeah,
can
there
say
are people
scholarship
like
for those who does not believe in God, and you
yes,
this is interesting, and you can get something, some maybe 1,000 or 500 or maybe 5,000 pounds, dollars to support yourself. And
yeah,
even if you are on full scholarship, you can still try the same, because we always say that look at how big the sea is, but if it rains, it still falls
yeah,
into it. So
yeah,
you don't have to say you're on full scholarship. You apply for the scholarship. If you get it and you don't need it, I'll give you my
exactly.
account, then you drop it inside.
I
Thank you
mean,
so much. Vicente, you would like to come in. But before that, you need to answer our question whether you are in.
oh, please. It's a conversation we are having here today to letting us on so many things that most of us didn't, know about. So I'm happy we had this conversation because personally for me, most of the things you mentioned, I actually didn't have an idea about it. So I'm excited to actually hear more about this. So let's talk a bit about, I mean, kind of gearing towards like the end of the conversation and everything. How Ben asked how life has been for you in the US so far. I don't know if when you came back you've had the chance to like travel home or something.
No. I've not had the chance to travel home. So I've not been home since I left.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So like is there anything specific you miss about home?
Oh, definitely. I mean, what everybody's saying, I miss the food. I miss my family.
But you're
Uh,
able to get the ingredients and make their food here, so it doesn't taste the same.
it feels different. It just feels different. The aura, the environment, the people serving, yeah, it feels different. So the food, my family mainly, um, my friends too, yeah, because that's like a huge sacrifice about moving abroad that nobody talks about. Especially when you're now in a new place and you are now being required to find your new community, and nobody talks about how harder it is to actually
Mhm.
make friends when you're older. But I talk with my friends a lot. Like every week we talk a lot, so it's not an issue. But there's still like, oh, let me just show up at your house. You get, let's still hang out. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely missed.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of relate with what you said. Like, no one talks, not even about you growing old. I feel like even relocating, nobody talks about how hard it is to make new friends because
Yes.
you are moving to a place where technically you know nobody. So you're now just like starting life all over again, have to get comfortable and get to know people. So it kind of makes it a bit difficult. But all in all, to let's say somebody watching you right now and the person is like, oh, he did this 17 scholarships and everything. I know you spoke about tenacity at the beginning, but for the sake of those like who joined in a little bit late, for someone watching you today, like what is that advice you'd want to give the person who feels like all hope is lost in wanting to study, particularly in the US because of how the things are going on like globally and stuff like that? What is that one major advice you'd want to give the person?
I'll just say be positive. I know there's a lot of negativity going around, right? And there are rightful negativities. You get like they're actually making rules that it's negative in a sense. But I'll just say be positive. Keep a positive mind. Know what you want and keep going for it. For example, I got my green card during this whole like during the new era that is has like more stricter immigration laws and daily people used to get their green cards daily. Um, this fall season, there was a lot of way stricter US visa rejections for students, but even at that, there was still a lot of people that still got their US visas. So it's not easy. I even had to do it twice. I went to the embassy twice. It's not easy, but it's possible. So just like be positive about it, be tenacious, and keep your eye on the goal. There's going to be a lot of distractions. There's going to be a lot of losses, especially when you don't have money. There's going to be a lot of losses, but keep your eye on the goal and keep working. And in most cases that I've seen on my life, it turns out to be in positive in the end.
Okay, so there was a question that somebody threw in the chat that I think I took note of, but I was trying to find it and I couldn't. Did you I mean, did you happen to do any work before getting into like your master's degree, like an internship or anything when you finished your bachelor's, or you just went straight into grad school after your
So I went to grad school. I didn't want to work, and that was mainly because of my because I wanted the green card stuff, and I found it more important than me going to work. Like I wanted to like find my stay first, but it was something that was needed in a sense because I interned my second year. I interned at Nvidia, then I my third year I interned at Microsoft. Then in my fourth year, which was after I graduated, that summer between my graduation and starting my master's, I was at Microsoft. Then this last summer also at Microsoft again. So I didn't feel the need to say that, oh, like, do you want to just work? I just wanted to like go to my master's degree because I know that my argument for my green card will be stronger objectively if I'm like having going through like advanced degree, having an advanced degree basically.
That's interesting. So, just to kind of nip a bit on like your experience in going through this whole immigration process and transitioning from F1 to a green card holder. For somebody watching out there, what would you say like were your strongholds or like some tips and tricks on that? Obviously, like anybody who wants insight or deep information would have to go through the process and get to you to have that consultation. But from your personal experience, what do you think made your application or your petition stand out?
Yeah. So, like I say, I also say I'm a bit lucky in this one too. But EB1, I mean, EB2 can talk about your degree, right? Because what you want to do in the US, they want to see that you're qualified to do something in the US. But EB1 is about your extraordinary ability, and EB1 is about people that are at the top of their field. You get, and it was EB1 that I got. But it is designed in a way that they want to show, want to see that you are one of the top in your field. And in that case, they don't consider degrees. So even though you don't have any degree at all, you can still get an EB1. But it is actually harder to say that you are very, very qualified in something when you don't have a degree in it. But the fields like chess, there was someone that got EB1 based off of chess. The person won several national awards in their home country. They came to the US while doing their bachelors. They didn't finish their bachelors and they were able to get their EB1. That was based on chess. But if you want to get it based on any other specificity, right, and you don't have a master's degree, PhD, they don't require it, even though it will be good. But there are a lot of things you can talk about that you have done that objectively might make them feel like, no, I think this person is qualified. For example, I was the valedictorian of my undergraduate program. I also put the part that I was selected as a White House scholar, and I went to the White House. I put my picture of me taking picture in the White House, being invited by Kamala Harris to our own private residence. Because I actually found out that apart from the White House, there is the vice president residence in Washington D.C. and they're actually different. Um, then I was named AT&T Rising Future Maker, where they featured us on Dallas Billboard, and I included this to fit the award criteria for the EB1. Apart from the award criteria for the EB1, there's another criteria called Publish Media About You. So these people, they announced the award on Forbes magazine. So I also put the fact that I was featured in Forbes magazine to satisfy the award criteria. There is also a criteria on scholarly article, meaning that I've author scholarly articles. And luckily, when I started my master's program, I started writing some articles. There's a criteria on judging the work of others, and I registered to be a judge for the National Innovator Challenge. So that qualified. Then I also registered for journal reviews because for judging the work of others, what most people usually use is journal reviews. I also registered for journal reviews in some journals. That's how many criteria like that. That's four. I know I give five criteria. Okay, award, judging the work of others, papers, media. There was the last criteria I argued. I can't remember. But I argued like five criteria, and you only need 3 out of 10, and they have to be strong. But I argue five criteria, and that was what made me win, get my EB1. And I want to say that my story is not like the most conventional in a lot of ways. Like in most cases, you need to finish your master's, have some work of years of experience, have a PhD to get the EB1. But there are still cases like mine that even though you don't have your master's completed yet, you might have done something so significant and shown a huge potential, not necessarily potential anyway, because they don't like seeing potentials, but objectively, right? You have done something significant that I feel like, we can give this person the EB1 green card for extraordinary ability.
Interesting. So did you do your application this year and then you got approved and got your card this year?
Yes, so I submitted my application in January,
Okay.
and between January and March, it got approved. Then submitted my change of status late March, and it got approved August. So from January to August, that's my entire green card journey.
Oh, okay. And then
Yes.
it eventually like mailed you out your green card and stuff like that.
Yeah, so when they approve your change of status in August, they'll make your green card like in 2 days after that. So you're basically getting your green card same period.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So
Yeah.
that's I've really learned a lot from today's conversation. I don't know about you, Ben, but I've learned
Yeah, I think today's conversation is for everyone. yes,
information
whether
is really
yes, whether you want to study abroad or not, you need this information. So
yeah.
Yeah.
please, let's share the link. Let's share the link. Let's share the link.
But
Yeah.
most importantly, if you want to take advantage of this opportunity and get to have a personal interaction with Adeleye so you can weigh your options and see which one fits best with your situation, you can go on the website, which is my talentsvisa.com. He has put together this website and it gives you all the information that you need where you can learn more about each of the categories. And just to speak a bit about this, I saw a comment about somebody saying EB2 visa, EB1 visa. These are not like visas like F1 visa that will grant you entry into the US to come study or something. This is you having to change your status from, let's say, from an F1 to a green card holder. So
Yeah,
it's,
green cards, yeah.
yes, it's specifically for like green cards, and he's mentioned that you can apply even from your home country. So just like Ben's scenario he gave, if you apply from a different country other than that of the US, you obviously have to go to the consulates for your visa interview to be
Yeah.
able to come into the country, even after you've been approved. But if you're here in the US, either on an F1, H1B, I believe.
Yes, any even though you're F2, you can be like the wife of even on F2, whatever it is, you can change your status from that because you are changing the status, right? But if you're
Yes.
outside the US, you don't even have a status to change from, which is why you have to go to the consulate.
Exactly. So if you are here, then in that case, you would have to just apply for a change of status. If only you don't have to go for an interview. When he mentioned in some cases you might have to go for an interview. In some cases also you might not be called for an interview. So again, if this is the route you want to go to, this is like an expert in it. He's done it. He's clearly stated his petition, how he went about it, told us when he did it this year, got approved this year, did his change of status, and then got his green card. So all these like information here for you for free. But to go for in depth, reach out to him through his website, mytalentsvisa.com, and have that interaction with him. So he takes you through the process smoothly. So I don't know if you have any like final words you want to share with us,
Uh,
and maybe any final questions Ben or the Fred Effect team would have, and then we can wrap it up and call it a day, because I feel like even us, we are filled up today. Like so much information, how much more those who are watching? And then just like Ben said, you are not going to leave here full the same way you came. You're definitely going to pour into everybody. So we want to make sure like you're very much light as you're leaving. So we have all the information that you have for us as well.
yeah.
Yeah, so
So
before Adele comes in, I want to re-echo what he said from the beginning, which I think is very, very important. You know, he said that from Nigeria, he had in mind that he's coming to US to work. And I think this reason has impacted the whole process, is that it has really changed his life. And that's even the reason why he was trying to search for green card, because to work comfortably in the state, if you have green card, you are good to go. And that has changed what he's doing at the moment. And this reminds me our last week podcast as well. Please, if you want to go and enjoy, you can still go and enjoy because there's a lot of fun there. But your life might not be the same as someone who wants to go and work. And your life might not be the same as someone who wants to go and acquire maybe good academic credentials. So it's not just about you want to move to abroad. Knowing your why changes everything. So please, in as much as we are trying to bring out this podcast, these are the basic, I call them foundational information. If you know these things, it changes. You see, you get your visa approved from the one you start to study abroad, because you know why. And every question the viewer is going to ask you will be centered on your reason of going to the US. This is very clear. And even if you are putting in application, if you have in mind the reason why you want to go, it reflects in your application. So I'm sure if we're able to follow most of the tips Adele has given to us today, Adele, we are good to go. And as he said, nobody can fraud you on this. If you know these things, nobody. So let's try and then value this podcast. We share to our friends so that they can also listen to it, watch, and learn. So Adele, you might want to come in.
Yeah. First of all, I'd just like to talk about the latest program that I'm putting up. Uh, so if you're doing PhD in the US, first year, especially for first year, second year, third year, I have a program that I'm starting. The application link is on my bio on my TikTok. Click on it. It's the EB1 Early Scholars Program. So basically, I'm going to be working with people, PhD students, first year, second year, third year, from 6 months to 2 years in how they can satisfy some of the EB1 criteria. So this is only for highly motivated people that want to get their green card before they finish their PhD program. I put the price there is $1,000, and if you don't meet at least three criteria for the EB1, I'm going to do 100% refund for, and even with the time I'm spending, whatever, I'm going to do 100% refund back to you. So that's the program. But then you have to submit your application, you have to write some essays, then I have to review it and call people for some interviews. And after the interview, then I can decide people I want to pick. And the slot is only limited to 10 persons that I want to pick. So that's the first thing. The second thing I have advice generally for people that are currently in the US, when you start your program, don't just focus on like the GPA alone. It's important because I also have good GPA, but there are a lot of other experiences that you have that USCIS values or the US values that you should try as much as possible to involve yourself in. And the most important decision you ever make when you land in the US, right, are the very first set of people you surround yourself with. If you surround yourself with people that have negative mind and tell you this is not possible for international students, or they just want to do some other the table work every single time and don't want to apply the same opportunity, you are preparing yourself for a relatively more life of struggle. You get it could be a life that you want, but I just want to know that it's going to be a life of struggle. If you are coming to the US, please and please try to stay with highly motivated people that are positive, people that are always sharing opportunities. Because my friend group, also like in my undergrad and now, we always share scholarship opportunities, conferences, a lot of that. And because we have that mindset, our relatively lived experience is different from the average international student. I'm not saying it's not hard, to be fair, because we had a fair share, but it's possible if you keep putting yourself in it.
Okay. So your opportunities that you have, the first one is for PhD.
Yeah, only PhD. Yeah,
Only PhD. So what
yeah.
about those who are watching who have master's degree?
There's nothing for people that must have degree. Because if you have a PhD, it's actually easier to be, and I just want to guide that part. For masters, nothing. For undergrad, nothing. And some people have asked me, but I won't. I don't have any plan of starting. And I don't think I'll ever be starting. But it's strictly for PhDs. If I'm starting for masters, then think I was starting for masters in fine arts, not general masters. And there's a reason for that, just because of the way the EB1 criteria is kind of orchestrated.
Okay. So
Yeah.
just to kind of reiterate what you just said, the program you're starting right now is for PhD students. However, anybody with a master's background or a bachelor's degree background who has the qualification can book a consultation with you to
Yes.
go through the process.
Yes. Yes.
Makes sense. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that we have clarified on that angle. So anybody watching here today will not leave here thinking that, oh, I must have a PhD before I'll be
Oh,
able to
yeah.
book a consultation with them. So if you're watching us today and you want to be a green card holder sometime in the US, you can reach out to Adeleye through his website, which is mytalentvisa.com. Book a consultation. The consultation is not free. It's $100 for 30 minutes, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So it's $100 for 30 minutes. So before you go booking, please make sure that you have your card ready to make payments and book a consultation with him in order to go ahead and um, have the service that you're looking for. So I don't know if you have a little bit of time where we can take one or two questions and then maybe we can wrap it up depending on you. If not, we can just wrap it up here and then the team would handle
Yeah,
it.
I have time. I can take it one or two questions.
Okay, so we usually sometimes have people join the studio to ask questions. So yeah, Felix, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Miss Hetty, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right. How are you
But
doing
my
today?
question, I'm
Hi,
doing
Felix.
good by the grace of God.
All
Hello,
right.
Felix.
Thank
Can
you
you hear
guys so much for the opportunity.
Hi Felix, can you hear me? This is a social media. Please find some shirts to wear, my brother. So we have to maybe pick questions from the comment. Yes, Felix Kopata Dibishe. How is social media?
Yes.
Adele, what I'm saying in our language is you should go and find some shirts to wear. You can
Yeah.
put your best shirt on social media like that.
Right.
So Felix, please do that. But we can look at questions in the comment.
Okay. So basically right now what we have in the comment section is thank you for this great insights. Just like myself, most people are appreciative of the information that you have put out there because it's really like educating people. And I must say that from your experience that you've shared so far, one thing that I've learned from it is to have a plan from the beginning because that is what has kept your drive and has actually made you achieve whatever that you want. There was something that you said that made sense that even if you get a scholarship and you come here, don't sleep. There are still other opportunities that you can hop on, and that's very interesting. So I'm really happy that you could share that as well. So yeah, I think Felix is back now.
The shirt.
Yeah, he's wearing a shirt now. Hi, Felix. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Please, I want to find out. I think my question goes to Mr. Ben and Brad Fred and Auntie Hetty yourself. I have secured admission to University of Michigan Flint. It comes with a 10,000 dollar scholarship to pursue MSc in Computer Science and Information Systems. But the total cost of attendance is around 40,000 Ghana cedis. I don't know. I want to find out if there's any possible way that I can secure other sources of fund if I get to campus, and then how best I can make my way through with the F1 visa.
So congrats on the admission. What happens is that in terms of graduate applications, you would have known from the initial stages whether the department will fund you or not. So my question has always been that before you apply to the school, of course, getting admission is not a big deal, but ask if the department sponsors international students like yourself. So graduate assistantship. So Miss Hetty is on a graduate assistantship. I am on a teaching assistantship. So you need to find out if the department has that. The second thing is that there are other non-academic departments in the university that you could apply for. So the university has a generic, a general employment website. So for example, it could be Handshake. It could be a specific employment website for the university. My second university, I was, learning at the public administration department. However, I was having my assistantship in the transportation department. How did I get it? I got admission just like you did, and then I had to go to the university's website to apply for that assistantship in a different department in the university. So first of all, reach out to the department head, ask him, express gratitude for being considered for the admission, ask if there are, internal graduate assistantship that the department gives. The second thing, do they have employment website? If it is Handshake, you have to activate your student account, create a Handshake account, and then start applying to the employment on the university's website. The third option is that there are still universities still admitting, bro. Don't depend on only one university. If you have gotten an admission to one university, means that you stand a chance of getting other admissions as well. Today is November 15th. A lot of deadlines are approaching. Put in other applications and let's see how it's gonna go.
And I think just to add a little bit on that, in emailing the schools and departments and offices for funding, go straight to the point. Don't beat about the bush. Nobody has time to come and read. I have been working as a trained teacher for 15 years, and go straight to the point on what exactly you're looking for, what exactly you need from the departments, so that your email will be read quickly and responded to. Because once you start with irrelevant information, it gets whoever that is reading the email, like they already have a lot on their plates. Me, that's one thing that I put at the back of my mind when I was starting my whole study abroad process, that I'm assuming somebody sending me an email and writing a whole long essay, and I now have to go to the third or fourth paragraph to look at whatever they're looking for and how I'll react to it. So that being said, like go straight to the point. If there's one thing I've learned about professors here, they like very straight to the point and concise information. And just go for it right from the beginning and ask questions. And Adele also mentioned these things. You need to ask.
Okay, thank you.
If you don't do all of these things, you really know the opportunities that lie ahead of you. So I hope that helps for you as well, Felix. So I was just like a quick one to Adele. If for somebody watching who also wants to apply to like numerous scholarships, I know you've spoken at length about it, but one key thing that you want the person to take into consideration to make the application stand out. What would that one thing that you want to let the person know?
Ability to tell good stories. So there are different aspects regarding getting scholarships. There's searching for it and application, right? Once we focus on the application, right, and it's not bad itself, but knowing how to search for scholarships is really important. Search for the ones that you're qualified for. What's that one thing that makes you unique, right? Then go online and search for scholarships for that your uniqueness. Then the second part is writing a good essay. In writing a good essay, you need to know how to be able to tell a good story. And I'll say that also like an edge that I have. Before I started writing essays, I was writing poems back then, like 5, 6 years ago. And so when it comes to me now writing, telling good story in essay, right, it now was a bit easier. Now, luckily, there's ChatGPT for you, but then also there's a risk of everything sounding the same. So you have to find your unique edge. But we need to tell a good story. In most essays, always start with the story, always start with the why, and connect it to what you are currently doing. I'm sorry, start with a good essay. The essay has to connect to why you started doing what you're doing. Then go on to what you have done so far. Then lastly, how will getting the money from the scholarship help you continue your passion? So when you structure the essay in this way, then it makes a good sense for a good scholarship essay to win.
All right. Thank you very much. That's very true. Storytelling sells it for
Yeah,
most of like the even admissions, like your statements of purpose. If you have a good storyline, like your hook really,
yeah, your hook, yeah.
yeah, it really helps a lot. So there's a question from Ahmed who says, my question is it possible to get a fully funded scholarship to get fully funded scholarship, sorry, for choosing courses that are coursework and not research type? If possible, how do I go about that?
Yeah, I mean that's totally possible. Just that in most cases, if it's not research type, then you look for like guidance assistantships. So don't look at it as scholarships, but reach out to the school and you can ask the grad coordinator or even like the professor in that department if there are guidance assistantships that you can use, or even teaching assistantships.
Yeah, so also just to add on that, just like he mentioned, it's very much possible. And so for that one, you can also look out for assistantships like administrative work,
Yes.
even assistantships outside your department as well. Some departments might need office assistants. There will be some administrative roles or some form of assistantship outside your department, and you'll be able to apply for that. So you don't necessarily have to have a research in order to. But I think sometimes people are confused between assistantships, scholarships,
Oh yeah.
fellowships.
To them, everything is just funded. They just want it.
Exactly. So people are confused like fellowship, scholarship. Because personally, for me, I didn't know there was a difference between like fellowships and then like assistantships until getting into the system and understanding. So, like each and every one of them. So, if it's something that you don't have to do research, yes, you can get a fully funded scholarship for that. Someone said, is third country visa application still allowed?
What is third country visa application?
Yes, I was.
That is, trying to go to another country to go for your visa interview. So what happens is that initially, if you want to apply for an F1 visa or a non-immigrant visa, even it used to be for immigrant visa, so you can win a lottery and decide that, okay, getting it maybe scheduled for an interview in Ghana is challenging, so maybe when I go to Sierra Leone, I'll be able to get a date. Now you cannot do that. If you have to schedule for an immigrant visa, you need to do it in your home country. The same way, initially, if you want to apply for a non-immigrant, especially maybe student visa, and they are not closer dates in your home country, like you're a Nigerian, you can decide to come to Ghana for an interview. If you're a Ghanaian, you could go to South Africa, Sierra Leone. People go to Gambia, Swatini, but now everybody needs to schedule in their country of residence. So even if you are an international student and you want to renew your visa, you cannot go to Canada like people used to do to renew their visas and come back. Now you need to renew it in your home country. So third country visa applications, you need to be a resident or a citizen of that country to apply for your visa there.
Okay, thank you. Somebody says, Ben, I beg you, if you summarize everything, please. You see, when you nodded your head, I just remember the fact that sometimes when you speak to people about an entire process, especially this whole study abroad process, and someone just goes like, for instance, someone will reach out to you, I want to study abroad, and the person goes like, oh, so can you help me find the schools and the program? I'm like, please.
Exactly, and that was one of the reasons why I put a price on my consultation, because a lot of people waste your time. They just want to find out, but it is your time, and most people are actually not serious about things like this. So to get the seriousness, you have to. Before I will commit to you, you need to have shown me that you've done a lot of work. Right?
Yeah.
For when people DM me and talk about undergraduate scholarship, I'll go in length explaining, but later on they go and they didn't work on it, and I've just wasted my time. So what I do now is that when you come to me with studying abroad undergrad, I just tell you go and take the SAT. After you taking the SAT, and come back to me for more. And in like 9 out of 10 times, they actually don't take the SAT. I'm like, yes, exactly.
You see, and I think this is something that even Fred has been hammering on over and over and over again, like even on every platform of his that I've been on. It's like you need to be intentional about this process. You need to know that you really want to do it and then come and start the whole process in the beginning. So just to kind of like summarize whatever that a lot of conversation has gone on today. I mean, we don't even know where we are going to start the
Even Wizkid wants to come to US and UK, so I don't know why he wants to worry us with US stuff. Oh.
like a lot of conversation, a lot of nuggets have been shared today. So
Yeah,
much.
maybe if you permit, maybe within 30 seconds, I can
You
try.
said that, so I'm going to time you 30 seconds. So that's
30 seconds. Okay, so Wizkid, we are interviewed Adeleye, who moved from Nigeria to US. He started with his bachelor's application, but with his first application, unfortunately, he couldn't get full scholarship. He got brokenhearted, but he didn't give up. With support from his family, he was able to push on. And as we are speaking now, he's on a Fulbright scholarship. But before he left Nigeria,
Full ride.
full ride
scholarship. And before he left Nigeria, his main reason was to go and find work, not to go and have fun. So, and that changed his narrative. At the moment, he didn't just depend on the full ride scholarship. He applied for additional 16 scholarship, and as we are speaking now, he's on 17 scholarships, of which most of the scholarships that were paid to the university was later refunded back to him. So if he has a daily contact, he has a lot of money at the moment. So he is telling you that even for you to be lucky, you need to work hard. This is one of the key takes home for today. So it's not just about you interested to study abroad. It's just about being committed, putting in the work. And to him, if you're able to do that, you're going to get the needed result. At the moment, he's running, he's a founder of My Talent Visa, whereby he has taken the process to another level where he helps people to secure visa or F1 green card.
Yeah.
So if you're able to follow him and then book a consultation, he can take you through the process that maybe you may change your idea of coming to UK and apply for green card straight to go and then study in the US. So this is what has transpired today.
Thank you. You went a little above 30 seconds, but you don't worry, we would see that. So before we go ahead to do the draw for today, there's a question saying, please, is service and visa fee the same? Help me out. So the visa fee is what you pay to go for your visa interview. And then I know the service fee is a fixed amount of $350. I don't know if it's increased now. That you need to pay that amount before you enter the country. Even before, yes.
Before your interview, actually.
Before you go for your visa interview, actually, you need to pay that amount of money.
So at the moment, the visa application fee is 185, and then the service fee is 350. 50. So it's
Oh,
not the same. And you can decide to pay one before the other. So you can yeah,
okay.
so you can decide to pay the service fee even before you pay the visa application fee, or better so you can decide to pay the visa application fee and then schedule an interview date. When your interview is closer, or you are thinking of requesting for an expedited or emergency request, then you pay the service fee, add the payment confirmation to your I-20 request for an emergency. So yeah, good question. It's not the same. Yeah, different.
All right. So I think we can go ahead and do the draw for today and see who that lucky person is going to be. So usually at Adele, we do a draw where we have people who commented, and the lucky person would be mentored by the Fred Effect team to begin their study abroad journey.
Oh,
Yes.
back with your body.
So yeah, our winner today is Brakofi Obodai. So if you're watching us today, kindly reach out to the Fred Effect team on Instagram. The page is verified, so you know that you are reaching out to the right person. So reach out to the Fred Effect team on Instagram, and then we'll take it up from there. I don't know about everybody else watching, but I am leaving here very much filled with so much knowledge and information that I had no idea about. And trust you me, after this call, I'm definitely spreading the news to anybody that I know, like who is trying to find their feet and all of that, to kind of reach out and book that consultation and all of that. And I'm so happy we could have this conversation. And to everybody else watching, it is possible. Somebody has done it. He's been able to secure numerous scholarships, like 17. And he's here to share his experience, which means that he has done it and you can do it. But just know that the zeal is different because he was hungry for the kind of life he has right now, and so that was his drive, and that is what pushed him. So before you get up and say, me, I want to study abroad, or you have to think deep and say that, please, it entails a lot of work. And I think it's generally with success, like
Oh, yeah.
you have to have it at the back of your mind that you are hungry for this, you want to see it thrive. And not only him, myself, Ben, Fred, all of us, we had a goal, and that is what has been the drive till this very day. Because if we just got up and we decided that we want to get up and leave our countries, we wouldn't have been here. We wouldn't have landed in the places that we find ourselves. So to everybody watching us, know that you can do this. It is possible. And we'll take final words from Ben and then Adele, and then we shall call it a day as well. So maybe Ben, you want to go, and then we'll have our guest, and then we wrap it up. Yeah. I think Ben, you are muted, so we cannot hear you. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I think today has been one of the inspiring conversation as usual, because we've all been taught something new. Now, I think you have plan A and plan B. So you can think of studying abroad or even applying for your green card straight. So now we at least, by the kind courtesy of Adelaide, we have an option now. And I'm sure most of us will have a look into that one, because we are tired of studying. We are tired of studying, so we have a look into that one. So please, my advice is that don't let these podcasts go waste, please. It's not easy to get this great man on this
Mhm.
podcast. He's very busy. He's very busy. But for us to get him on this podcast, please evaluate and don't be selfish. You try as much as possible to share the good news, so that at the end of the day, we all smile together. So this is a short message I have for today.
All right. Thank you so much. So we'll hand over to Adele. Any final words you have?
Yeah, just generally for people back home, I don't feel like I was in your shoes before, and I know how hard it is. I know how like, arduous the process is, but I know that this is also not for everybody. But if you have that stuff in your mind and you want to come and achieve it, and you be like, "This is the best place to do it," I'm telling you, it's the best place, but it requires a lot of work. If you put in the work, in at least 5 out of 10 times, if you want to take the chance, you're going to like enjoy it. You're going to get the benefit of your work. So yeah, don't give up. And for people here, there's a lot we can do as Africans in the US. I see other demographics, the Indians, the Chinese, who does on several sectors. And us is just that, okay, if we're not even being just students in a sense, we're starting African restaurants. We're not starting a lot of like even like the best businesses, but I just wanted to expand our mind. There's a lot we can do in the US that we shouldn't limit ourselves to the perception of what people before us have done. So yes, put in the work and see you guys at the top.
All right, thank you so much. It's been an insightful session. Trust and believe I am running into the to definitely come tap on this knowledge. So please be on the lookout. I'm just
Okay.
saying. But thank you so much. This has always been the Study Abroad podcast with the Fred Effect. And if you joined us today, I'm sure you left here very much filled with all the knowledge, nuggets, and wisdom that you didn't see coming. So we will come your way again next Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And this has always been the Study Abroad podcast with the Fred Effect team. And my name is Miss Hetty. Thank you.